Cho good old Kazar to you. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? I'm a pirate now. I love it. And guess what? Real quick, over on some of my other videos, which you can find up in the top corner right now, I am doing a fun little survival playthrough of the Long Dark, so please go check that out. Pretty please, very well. But it's time to get into camps. It is back, it is fun, and it has changed a little bit. If you are familiar with camps, you know that I had to invent my own version of math. Yeah, that math has now been changed once again, so don't worry about that. It's become a lot simpler. It's no longer about the design, layout, and the prices, it's just the design and the layout. And this first camp, it niches on me a little bit because it's a floating camp. It's a stair camp. I'm not really a big fan of stair camps. However, I was very impressed by the way that the person incorporated some of the existing area into the camp itself. So the camp's actually kind of just basic. No offense to the camp designer out there. And why that plant is in the middle, I have no idea. Maybe it was still being built. Who knows? But I do like the fact that each of the crafting benches has their own little portable stash that you can get your stuff from. And this cooking station, I did like the fact that you sit down on the little futon. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. Also, I get somewhat Titanic vibes from the little boat here with all the equipment in, even all the musical instruments. But this right here, this pathway was not built by them. This is an in-game pathway, and I like the fact that they have, put the vendors over there instead of on their camps, and they kind of fit in pretty damn perfectly. Now, the upstairs is pretty basic. It looks like it's just a place to show off some of the comics, some of the stuff they've collected, and also just to have a room in it. And I was happy that the doors were open. It's very nice to be able to go in and explore people's camps. But, it was pretty basic. So the design and the layout are really the only two things that get measured now. So the design overall is the shape of the building. I gave that one a 5. I don't like floaty stair camps, but the way that they managed to do this one was actually pretty decent. And the way you can turn it from a floaty stair camp into a somewhat relatively understandable structure camp is just put stilts in. If you literally under this part that we're stood on right now, if we put stilts on, it would look like it's held up. That's my only problem with floaty stair camps. They just look really ugly and just wrong. But there we are with that. The layout, however, does get a 7. Now, these are out of 10, and collectively together, out of 20 is what gets you your thing. So we have a 5 and a 7, and because they had water purifiers, I still do incorporate water purifiers. I should have mentioned that. They get a 1, bringing them up to 13. I still show you the stuff, by the way. I will still go into the vendors and show you, just in case you actually come across these camps and you see something in them you want to buy. That's why I still show you the stuff. It's not really important. I don't do prices anymore. I realised that I suck at being like, oh yeah, no, that's a pretty decent price. It's because it's a community kind of thing as itself. So if something becomes rare, then the price is going to change. And it's an economy. It's in flux all the time. So I'm stopping with the prices, but I am going to say that this was quite a very beautiful camp. Even though it was a floaty camp, it fit in quite nice. The design really only needs a tweak, and then that's just adding in the stilts to make it look like more functional actual building. And I'm pretty sure I'm using functional in a wrong way, even if it's a word, I don't know. But yeah, it was pretty nice. And some of the stuff, like this Vault-Tec University jumpsuit, I had no idea that was a thing. So coming across things like that are pretty interesting, and thus I might actually go out and try and find that thing now. I don't know. And as much as I do want to comment on prices, I'm not going to comment on prices. It's not a thing anymore. I'm not a guy who understands prices anymore. So I'm going to leave it with that. It's got a 13 out of 20. Gets a thumbs up from me. It's a nice little camp, and I would definitely go back and buy some stuff. However, the second camp actually beats the first camp. It's very nice. This is a camp that people don't like where they get built. So this is right across from the Charleston train station. People don't like camps being built here because apparently it conflicts with the responder robot. I've never found that, but apparently it is. And when I say I've never found it, I've both never found the responder robot, nor have I been in the location where this camp, where a place here has been built and the responder robot has not turned up. I don't know. I don't go actively looking for the responder robot. Maybe I should. But I actually really kind of like this camp. So there is another YouTuber out there called DTD. He kind of follows the same thing as me. He mentioned recently he loves really complex... not complex, compact camps. He loves really thin kind of walkways with stuff in them. I'm kind of the same. I like looking at buildings that are very tiny but have everything necessary put in there. This is slightly one of them. It could have been improved with decorative walls and floors. So, obviously a carpet or a laminate floor and changing the colour of the wall. But I do actually like the white wall, just the plain white wall. It would be nice if we could have a clean version of this. And the roof was nothing really important. So the design itself is actually an odd shape. And I think it's actually reminiscent of an actual building. Not an actual building, but an actual design of buildings from the 50s, which had an overhang on. I think I've built one or two of them before. Can't remember. So the design itself gets a 7. It's quite nice. I do like it. And the layout, though not much in it, everything is where it needs to be. And due to its complexity of being extremely compact, or its compactity, I guess we could call it, it works. There is enough room in there to walk around, there's enough room to craft, there's enough room to sleep, there's enough room to do everything you need to do. So I gave the layout a 6. And of course, because it had a purifier that was open, it gets an extra 1, bringing this entire thing up to a 14. And obviously it is blessed by serums, as I've just shown off. And I thought that had glitched, but it hadn't. So once again, it is a good old thumbsy up from me, because I quite like it. However, this camp here, I think this camp here has been around for a long time. I think it's been here probably since the beginning of the game when this was possible, because I don't think building with foundations is possible anymore. However, I will say this, I did not like it. I liked it, but I did not like it. Overall, I give both of them a 4. I give the design a 4 and the layout a 4, and you can see why as we go through. Now, I give the design a 4 because it's nothing. There is absolutely no design in this building whatsoever. It is literally just a square block as I talk over the sirens outside. Thank you very much, police people. However, it was just... I don't think the person who built this used it anymore. I think they just turned up and was like, hey, there we go. Because there's nothing in it. There's absolutely nothing to it. It's a non-camp, as it were. This is an ex-camp. It is no longer a functioning thing. It's just a big grey square block, which I'm pretty sure only exists as it is because it is built in a way that can no longer be done. I'm pretty sure that's why it is. Now, I don't know if you can still do it, but I'm pretty sure being able to build with foundations was taken out. Though, yeah, if I'm wrong, correct me. Go ahead. I don't mind. So it's on a 4 for design and a 4 for layout, plus the extra 1 for the purifiers, bringing its grand total up to 6. However, I will say this: the person who has this camp, well done. You've kept this thing. You haven't gone, do you know what? It's time to rebuild the camp. It's time to move on. It's time to change how the camp looks. You've gone, no, I've built with the foundations. I'm not changing how it's done because technically this camp is indestructible. Because foundations cannot be destroyed. So, very well done for having what is... it's an indestructible camp. If I was to nuke this camp, only the doors and the stuff inside would be destroyed. The building itself would remain. That's how much... I love it, but I hate it. That's why I said I love it and I hate it. Because it's literally... it's the Superman of camps. It could probably be destroyed by magic, but it's the Superman of camp. So, sadly, it's a 4 and a 4, plus the 1, bringing you up to a grand total of 9 out of 10. So I will be walking away from this camp. However, in a very rare situation, I'm saluting the shit out of you for being ballsy enough to keep this camp around. Very well done, sir or madam. But there we have it. That is the end of camps. Yes, it's changed, and because it's changed, it's still once again in its infancy and needs to be corrected in some areas. So I will be getting all over that and all up in its biz. But you know the drill. Like, share, and subscribe. And until the next time, stay awesome.